Yeah, I wouldn't even guess.
Is it on?
You are hot, so
Thanks, Larry.
Jeez.
okay, your mic is on. Be careful what you say.
What's that?
My
No
theatrical
mercy.
terms just don't fit very well here. apparently.
Replaced.
Because Dan must be Dan was here last month. So then he replaced him.
That was his first.
I knew he was coming, but I
Could be like
didn't
the
know when.
Senate and declare it to be any time we want it to be and start.
You said it was item B of the public hearings or item B of the business?
B as in
E
boy.
of the public hearing.
Public hearings,
Never
yeah,
know
just
how close you have to
section,
be
which
to really
section?
be heard.
Yeah.
There's two Bs.
There are.
Oh,
No, there-
there are. You are correct.
Make sure, because
I need to speak up.
he's item B of the other one.
You have to recuse yourself on item B
that
of
would
the
be
other.
Well, I don't know what's up with the clock in the back, but I've got 5:30, so I'm gonna say, we're gonna call this meeting to order. So with that said, let's go straight to the minutes. I would look, does anyone have any corrections or additions or anything to the minutes?
I had a question, but Andrew clarified it for me, so I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign for any opposed. Motion carries. All right. Item A under public hearings is withdrawn. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Okay, so we're gonna move straight to item B. Nancy, I believe you had a,
I would like to recuse myself from
Okay.
voting.
all right, we'll give Nancy a moment here. And then I will suspend this meeting, call to order a public hearing to give consideration to a variance to allow construction of a 40 by 30 foot attached garage with less than a 30-foot setback from the lot line adjacent to the right-of-way at 600 Shorewood Drive for Sam Larson. Larry, would you please?
Sam Larson has requested a variance to allow a garage addition with a 14-foot setback from the roadside lot line at 600 Shorewood Drive. The Larsons have a lake lot with an existing home being set back about 44 feet from the roadside lot line. The Larsons would like to add a 30 by 40-foot addition to their garage. My opinion is that the Larsons have a reasonable use of the property without the variance, and the Larsons could also build a garage on this lot without a variance. I do not feel that the applicant has demonstrated a practical difficulty to justify a variance. Also, the applicant has a reasonable use of property without the variance. Below are findings that would be used to recommend denial of the variance. First, number one, in your opinion, is the variance in harmony with the purpose and intent of the ordinance? No. Allowing a 14-foot front yard setback for a garage presents a safety hazard for backing into the public street and does not protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public. Also, a car parked in front of the garage would be partially in the road right-of-way. Number two, in your opinion, is the variance consistent with the comprehensive plan? Yes, it is a residential use in a residential district. Three, in your opinion, does the proposal put the property to use in a reasonable manner? No, the applicant has alternatives that do not require a variance. Also, the applicant has a reasonable use of the property without the variance. Number four, in your opinion, are there circumstances unique to the property? No, there are no unique circumstances that justify a variance. This is a typical lake lot in this area. And number five, in your opinion, will the variance maintain the essential character of the locality? The variance would maintain the essential character of the neighborhood as an attached garage is a common feature of homes in this area. So with that, staff is recommending denial of the requested variance.
All right, thank you, Larry. This time we'll open up for public comment. If anyone would like to address the commission, please feel free to come up to the mic, list your name and your address, and you'll have a few minutes to make a comment. All right, any comments?
Sam, did you have anything you wanted to add to this? This is your hearing notice. Okay.
Okay. This is your chance to advocate for your variance if you would like to address the commission. Okay, well, hearing no public comments, I'm going to close the public hearing and I'll open it up to the commission for discussion. Is there any discussion from the commission? Or in lieu of discussion, a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion to accept the denial of the variance and accept the findings as presented by staff.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of denial signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, Mr. Larson, and for everyone for the public hearings tonight, the way that this works is tonight, the planning commission reviews these. We will make a recommendation, which then will go to the Community Development Committee, which is 5 o'clock the Monday night before the council meeting, which is what date?
July 7th.
July 7th. Okay, I was gonna say it and I was like, better double check. So that meeting takes place in that room right back there in that corner. And then that committee makes a recommendation that goes forward to the city council on Tuesday, July 8th at 5 PM right here in this chamber where the final decision is made. And you're certainly welcome to attend any of those meetings. They're all public. All right. Let me jump back up to my agenda here. Let's go on to item C. I will call to order a public hearing to give consideration to a conditional use permit to allow a guest cottage of 864 square feet currently on site to be relocated at 1354 and 1362 South Shore Drive for Mike and Leah Larson. Larry.
So this is a request from Mike and Leah Larson for a conditional use permit to allow a guest cottage on their property. This is a unique circumstance. This guest cottage exists on the property now. It's about 60 feet from the lake shore, and the wide end of the cabin is facing towards the lake. The owner is planning to turn that 90 degrees and have it then have the narrow end towards the lake and be set back 75 feet like it's supposed to be. And then they're going to change the lot line and put it on to 1354 South Shore Drive instead of 1362 South Shore Drive. So, basically, their current guest cottage is 24 by 36 feet. They are allowed as a conditional use in the R1 and the R2 districts. They do meet the minimum lot size requirement. The minimum lot size requirement is 26,000 square feet, and they have a lot size of 37,700 square feet. A guest cottage is generally not allowed to cover more than 700 square feet of land surface, but this is an existing cottage. We're not changing the dimensions, and it's 864 square feet. Guest cottages are supposed to be constructed above grade and be on a single level. This structure is a single level, and it does not exceed 11 feet 5 inches. They're allowed to be as much as 15 feet high. It also meets all of the required setbacks, 75 feet from the ordinary high water mark, 10 feet from the side lot line, and 30 feet from the rear lot line. So with those facts in mind, I would recommend approval of the conditional use permit.
Great, thank you, Larry. All right, is there anyone that would like to address the commission and make a comment on this issue?
I did have one condition and that is that the guest cottage be set back 75 feet from the ordinary high water mark and be relocated as shown on the approved site plan.
That's an addition to the.
That's just a condition.
Okay,
that I
gotcha.
forgot
Oh,
to
yeah, there it
mention.
is, I see it. Great, thanks, Larry. All right, is there anyone that would like to make a comment? Any comments on this hearing? Any comments? All right, hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and open it up to the commission for discussion or a motion. Are there any comments from the commission? Otherwise, I would definitely entertain a motion.
I have one question. In changing that lot line, is there a standard as far as front footage that a lot has to
The
be?
lot, yeah, it has to be 75 feet wide, so it's meeting all of the requirements.
So remaining narrower
Yep.
property is within that, okay.
Okay, any further discussion or a motion?
Yeah, I would move to accept the conditional use permit as stated with the conditions that Larry described.
I'll second.
Great, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, item D, I will call to order a public hearing to give consideration to a variance to allow a 27-foot setback from the ordinary high water mark for construction of a deck at 1183 Long Beach Drive for Meg Johnson. Larry?
When you say a 27-foot setback from the ordinary high water mark, that sounds like, wow, that's really close, and it is really close. But as the property exists today, they're only 20 feet from the ordinary high water mark, and their house is where it is, their decks are where they are, and so I think you'll find that they do have a unique circumstance that they're dealing with, and that a variance in this case would be appropriate, but it certainly isn't something that we would normally grant to every project that would come along. So basically, Meg Johnson has requested a variance to allow a 27-foot setback from the ordinary high water mark for construction of a deck at 1183 Long Beach Drive. The normal setback from the ordinary high water mark is 100 feet. The project is to construct a deck with a 27-foot setback from the ordinary high water mark. They would normally be allowed to be set back 59.5 feet if you use setback averaging, which helps their case a little bit because normally the setback on Long Lake is 100 feet. So here are the conditions that the staff has prepared for this request. First, the variance is in harmony with the purpose and intent of the ordinance. The remodel will be increasing the distance from the deck to the water and eliminate a dilapidated sunroom, decreasing the footprint of the house. This variance would not cause any new issues or change the aesthetic of the surrounding area. Number two, the variance is consistent with the comprehensive plan. The updates would fit well with the overall property and area. It would also address concerns to the existing structures and deck. Three, the proposal puts the property to use in a reasonable manner. The updates would increase the distance from the lake to the deck. It would also tie the overall visual appearance together, eliminating the hodgepodge look of what is currently on the property. New decking and construction would also eliminate the safety concerns of the current decking. Number four, circumstances are unique to the property. The property has been in the family for generations. Remodels and additions from many years past would make it difficult to gain any additional utility from a backyard remodel or from a build-back remodel. Number five, the variance will maintain the essential character of the neighborhood. The variance will not alter the character of the property or the neighborhood. It will increase the distance from the deck to the lake, reduce the footprint of the house, and provide necessary updates to enhance the value and usability of the property in the neighborhood. And based on these findings, staff recommends approval of the variance.
All right, thank you, Larry. Would anyone like to comment on this item? Any public comments? All right, hearing none, I will go ahead and close the public hearing and open it up to the commission for any comments or motion or questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, item E, I will call to order a public hearing to give consideration to the preliminary plat of Long Lake Acres at 2445 US Highway 10. Daryl and Elizabeth Justison. Larry.
Okay, this is a three-lot commercial plat. Staff recommends preliminary plat approval subject to the following conditions. First, that the owner provide any utility easements required by the city. Two, that the owner provide any stormwater easements as designated by the city engineer. Three, that the owner obtain any required Pelican River Watershed District permit prior to the issuance of any building permits. And four, that the owner obtain a land disturbance permit from the city prior to issuance of any building permits. This is, like I said, a three-lot commercial plat. The access is on the city street, not on Highway 10.
All right. Are there any comments, any public comments? Anyone would like to address the commission? Come on up.
Adam Geiger with Meadowlands Surveying, here with Daryl. Yeah, this is a three-lot plat, big lots, they're over 40,000 square feet, as shown. Be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments? Any other comments from the public? All right, hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and open it up to the commission. Any questions or a motion?
Only question I have is, I'm guessing since it's a commercial subdivision, there's no park dedication fee?
Because it's commercial, there's no park dedication fee. That only applies to residential subdivision.
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary plat based upon the staff recommendations and the 4 items listed there on the recommendation.
All right.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, item F, public hearing to give consideration to the rezoning of Linview Estates First Edition from RA Residential to R2 1 and 2 Family at 865 Shorewood Drive for Bristlin Construction. Larry, go ahead.
Okay, this property is currently zoned RA Agricultural Residence District. The applicant would like it changed to R2 1 and 2 Family Residential District, and then the next item on our agenda is a plat of that property into 10 single-family lots, which there are 5 of the lots in that subdivision that would be large enough for twin homes as well. But sticking to the zoning change, it would just be changing it to R2, which is consistent with the comprehensive plan.
Okay. This time I'll open it up for comments. Any comments from the public on this one? This is just the zoning one, yeah. I mean, the first of many things, but any comments? Any comments? All right, hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and open it up to the commission.
I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the table to approve the rezoning from RA to R2. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right, item G, public hearing to give consideration to the preliminary plat of Linview Estates, First Edition at 865 Shorewood Drive. Okay, Larry?
Okay, as I mentioned, this is a 10-lot residential subdivision. 5 of the lots are large enough to allow twin homes. That doesn't mean that there would be twin homes, but there are 10 lots. And staff recommends preliminary plat approval subject to the following conditions. First, that the owner provide any utility easements required by the city. 2, that the owner provide any stormwater easements designated by the city engineer. 3, that the owner obtain any required Pelican River Watershed District permit prior to issuance of a building permit. That the owner obtain a land disturbance permit from the city prior to issuance of any building permit. And finally, that the owner pay the 6% park dedication fee of $7,116.
All right, I would open it up now for any public comments.
Adam with Meadowlands Surveying again. Larry pretty much said it all. 10-lot subdivision, single-family homes. Not a whole lot more I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments? Any further comments? All right, hearing none, I'll close the public hearing and open it up to the commission.
Larry, there were no letters received as far as any comment on this?
There were no comments.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary plat, subject to the 5 conditions.
Okay, we got a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, that ends the public hearings. Let's go to some regular business. Consideration to the final plat of Midwest Edition. Larry, you want to give us a rundown?
Yes, a new final plat was handed out to you earlier this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they have removed the stormwater drainage easements because the city engineer says those are private drainage facilities and we don't need to have public easements for those. So staff recommends final plat approval subject to the owner obtaining any required Pelican River Watershed District permit and acquires a land disturbance permit from the city.
Okay. Discussion from the commission.
I'd move to accept the final plat for the Midwest Edition with the conditions stated.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, I think, Chris, was this the one you wanted to recuse
I'll
yourself from?
recuse myself.
Okay. Okay, item 4B, approval of the revised site plan for Providence Lake.
Okay. Providence Lakes was approved for a 48-unit conditional use permit for this project. They delayed getting their final plans to us because they had to negotiate with the Department of Transportation for an access. And they were back last fall and received approval of a 44-unit development with the access in the proper location. They are now coming back with another revised plan with the access in the proper location, but they are now only doing 40 units because I think they found that it was a little bit tight to try and get 44 units. So I would recommend approval of the revised plan.
It's come down a long ways from the original goal, I think.
Yes, they had twice as many on there originally because they had somebody looking at it that either misread their ruler or misread the wetland. I'm not sure which.
And it does look like the road is going further south, the access point.
No, it's in the same location that it was last fall.
Oh, last fall. Okay.
But
I was
not
going back to the
originally.
original.
Right.
Okay.
The plat in the packet has 44 units, not 40.
Yeah, it does
Well, it's
show,
supposed to have 40, so let me grab that file here.
it does show a September date.
We might have just gotten the wrong one in the packet.
At least in my packet it was.
Jen said that could never happen.
Yeah, that's the
This is
one,
the correct one.
44, that's what I'm reading.
Yeah, it is 44.
It is
It
44.
is 44.
Your eyes are good.
Right.
Like Andrew said, it's dated September, so. September of 24 to be specific.
Yeah.
Be impressive if it was September of 25.
They went back up, we know they're coming in.
Back to the future.
Interesting.
I don't remember what it looked like before. I don't either. But it does look
Pass
like
that
it's
one
pushed
around.
closer.
We have
to
one
I-
with 40 units.
This is tight. It looks very tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Well, then when I saw 40 and I looked at it, oh, there's 44 there.
We do have a plan that has 40 units, so this was the wrong one.
It does look like they still are trying to get 3 and 2-bedroom units in there.
They are still doing 2 and 3-bedroom units. Yes.
They're townhomes,
Townhomes.
so 2-story.
Yep.
Yeah.
While you're looking, how does the parking for the clubhouse?
Adequate. They have-
Adequate.
They have
Bless
the
you.
required parking, and
Okay.
with conditional use permits, we require a significant amount of parking, so they're in good shape.
Is there gonna be a turn lane off of 59?
There's a,
Yes.
yes,
That was part of the requirement,
Bypass,
and then they had to
right
pay
turn
for the whole
lane.
thing.
no.
The developers are paying for the turn lane, okay.
It's my understanding.
Yes, that one.
Did they,
There you go, it's on the screen.
Oh.
It's got 40 units.
Oh, that doesn't look
Thanks,
as tight
Jen.
as it did there.
no,
It does look a lot less tight.
It does, doesn't it?
it does look better.
It might have to
feels
actually
better.
stretch to touch the house.
They didn't do anything about changing the speed limit on that part of 59, did they?
No, they.
You
we
should call
asked-
MinDOT and see if
elected
you
not
get
to.
anywhere.
Well, it should be 40.
I don't think they even agreed to do a traffic study.
No, they would not even study it.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want a motion to approve the
The revised
The revised
site
fi-
plan, yes.
revised site plan?
That would be ideal.
Make a motion to approve the revised site plan as presented on the screen.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jen, would you please, for both of these, email them to the commission in the next few days so we have a digital copy of them? The two revised plans. You had the Midwest edition and then this one. That way we have a digital copy we can reference. Thank you. All right, anything anyone wants to go over on the variance or conditional use status report? Liz?
I was gonna say, what's the status of the, Wendell property? Any movement that way?
On the bowling alley or on
Yeah.
the property to the south?
Well, not the 270th, because I already see that that's up for sale again.
Okay. The bowling alley is on hold because they are pursuing tax increment financing.
That's
so-
what I heard. Okay.
And then the property to the south, we have been working with the owner on that, and we've got that property annexed into the city, but he hasn't come back with any plans for it yet, and it is for sale.
Which property to the south?
On South Shore, if you go down 270th Avenue past Lake Forest Edition, it's right there between, it's on Abbey Lake,
On the west side, on that west side,
on the east side.
or the east side, correct, okay.
And I did notice it went up for sale, I think last month.
And you didn't buy it?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
She didn't want to deal with the city. She didn't want to deal with the city.
Oh,
Okay.
And of course, I'm gonna go back to the South Shore project. His expiration is coming up in August on the conditional use
I
permit.
have reminded him of that and
Okay, I was just
let him
wondering.
know that he should be applying for an extension.
Okay. If I recall correctly, the city had agreed to a 1-year extension on that, right? And that's
On the
August.
bowling alley, you mean?
No, I'm talking South Shore Drive project.
Which South Shore Drive project?
On
Yeah, that's the
South
one
Shore
that's-
and, South Shore and 270th? Is what you-
Yes, the corner of.
Oh, the Garrick property?
Thank you. I
That's the
couldn't come up
name,
with the
yeah.
name.
They have a plat, they have not come in for any other project approvals.
Are
They
you
haven't.
talking of the conditional use permit that they received from the county?
Correct. Didn't the city agree
That
to a
expires
1-year?
I don't recall agreeing to a
September.
1-year extension on that. I think that was purely a county item.
Yeah, that was the county's.
Yeah.
And the county put
Am I
a
wrong on that one?
deadline on
There's a
that.
county, and don't they have 2 years on their conditional use permits?
Yeah, it expires in September of this year.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, and his preliminary plat did not show anything there. It's just future expansion space.
Correct.
But it would appear to be residential based on the nature of the property. But
Okay.
we'll see, I guess.
Done asking questions then.
Okay, anything else from any of the rest of the commissioners? Well, hearing none, then I think we should adjourn, and that was well done, folks.
Right?
We get you out on time. That's
Speedy
right.
Gonzalez.
29 minutes.